So before we get into anything, I have to tell you, I was rendered speechless throughout the presentation for Love, Death, and Robots. I had never seen the series before. This
Oh,
was phones down, hyper focused, positively gobsmacked. I started with Jabaro and was just blown away. So this has been a very exciting assignment for me.
I'm surprised you could watch anything else afterwards. We were just talking about how that one is kind of like
it has to be the last because you got to go hug yourself after.
yeah,
Tell
you
me about it.
stunned into
Just
creative
like rock in a corner.
I kept
immobility.
going. I kept going after the screeners were over. I just kept on downing episodes one after the other. I came across Pop Squad eventually. I was very excited to see that. So let me ask you, this is for both of you, but I'll ask Tim to go first. What's the pitch process for an anthology series like this when you have stories ranging from Jabaro to Bad Traveling?
In season one, we had a bit more of a pitch process where we had artists come in and pitch us stories. But I found that even though we found Alberto through that process, one of the last supervising director brought him in, I found that that's not as sure a way of finding good stories as starting with good stories. I read a lot and there's so many good short stories out there that if I can just read them and go, oh, hey, that'll work, or oh, hey, that'll work. And then the development process is much less painful because you already know you have something that pretty much works. And there's so many short stories that are great out there. We have a whole wall full of them waiting to be made.
Jennifer, what was your battle plan going into Love, Death, and Robots for your stories?
Battle plan. Well, as a supervising director, there's the directing side, which is my particular shorts. But as a supervising director, really you have all these directors and studios that have amazing visions of their own, and my battle plan is often about how do we get what they do best forward. How do we get their vision forward? It's not necessarily what I would do with that particular story, but what would they do best the way they do it. So that's the way all these stories can be so different from each other. That's how all of them feel like different styles, different tones, different everything, because they're really a reflection on each director.
Right on. What goes into choosing the studios showcase throughout the series? How do you decide which one gets assigned to each project?
That is a huge, long, drawn out fraught process. Well, we have literally a list of pretty much every studio on the planet, and the crew here, Victoria, Howard, and all the other groups in the loft here, this little tight core. We basically have long meetings where we go through, okay, that studio is available, that director worked with that studio, that particular studio is that style, that's their specialization. They actually have an opening in their schedule there. We figure all that out and we meet with a lot of them and send them a bunch of stories and see what happens.
It's a puzzle, but a lot of these folks these boutiques come out of the industry that Blur was and is in for doing game cinematics, the high end, promotional pieces for games. They're longer than commercials. They're little mini stories with the characters and worlds of the game. And a lot of these folks were our competitors, and we knew them in a friendly rivalry. And when it came time to do the show, we knew them and we knew they could produce this kind of high end work that we were looking for. And so that little fraternity of companies sort of came together, and we add new ones to the list. Like we'd never worked with Titmouse before until Jennifer did Kill Team Kill. Would definitely work with them again if Netflix gives them just any breather in their schedule.
Yeah.
They're fucking amazing.
A little busy with human resources and Big Mouth going on.
The entire animation industry is busy, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. It must be amazing to be surrounded by so much talent. So, Tim, I'm wondering what keeps this anthology series fresh and exciting for you as you move into a third season? What keeps you motivated to keep producing something like this?
This sounds so stupid, but it's true. It's the people. I like working with Jen. I like working with Vic and the team. I like working with David and I get excited about the stories. You know, it feels like this little magic box that we get to open every few years, and there's so many great stories out there that I feel like getting the chance to tell them is such a gift. And I can't even, maybe sometime in the future, this will be boring, but I can't see it, because we can do anything. There's so many great stories to tell out there, and so many great artists who can tell them, that it feels like the perfect recipe for never getting bored.
Very, very cool. Jennifer, riddle me this. How do you get from Pop Squad, a dark child eradicating noir, to Team Kill, a G.I. Joe inspired Terminator-like with music by DJ Skrillex? Is that a fun change for you from something like Kung Fu Panda?
I think people will be surprised that I did that one, but I think
she's a strange woman.
I think that one's actually, Kill Team Kill is actually very close to my inner self, because I'm a huge fan of 90s action movies, and I love like Predator and Commando and like Jean-Claude Van Damme action movies. And, you know, they did not take themselves too seriously. And I just wanted to have something fun. I think
if you saw her arms, they're huge veins.
Got the guns. Nice.
But it's like, I think it was just a matter of having some fun. It's stupid fun. That's all it is. And so I think people just need a little more fun in their lives right now.
Stupid fun.
Stupid fun.
Fantastic.
If you awaken from this illusion, and you understand that black implies white, life implies death, you can feel yourself not as a stranger in the world, but you can begin to feel your own existence. What you are basically is the fabric and structure of existence itself. The universe is a celebration. This is a fireworks show to celebrate that existence is. Everybody is fundamentally the ultimate reality. Only you're pretending you're not.